And I'm thinking, no way would you play on my mind and go and start waving bye-bye.
You're so colour coordinated.
I do
I
try.
love it. I
I'm
love
a
it.
mix between trying not to always wear black, so I'm really glad you've taken that. So. But yeah, I do like to be a bit matching.
It's true, yeah, we kind of,
Flipped.
flipped around.
That's good. You look so glamorous though.
Thank you. I don't know what. Well, this was my bid to not be just black.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Always.
My moon boots.
Brilliant.
So yes.
So
Have you had a good week?
I have.
Good.
Normal week, back in routine. It's been like summer.
It's been warm. It's been
Yes.
hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
We are post the big Kent storm this morning.
That was amazing last night.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, definitely. But it's very warm.
Yeah. And is it set to, we're doing that thing where we talk about the weather.
I love it.
I was just going to say, is it set to stay like that? And now I've just realised, do
We
I?
shouldn't. No, it's what we do.
That's what we do. There we go. So
Yeah.
that's the
Passionately outside. Waiting.
Summer please do.
Yeah.
Cool though.
Your week?
I've been good. I was conscious that I should have done Instagram stuff.
Okay, I'm glad you.
Yeah,
I was conscious. Good.
Yeah, no, I was.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what I was going to say. No, I was aware that literally as I arrived to this, I was like, oh crap, I didn't do any of the stories that I said to Laura I was going to do, or for my sake that I was going to do. I just can't. I will be obviously staying on Instagram. I just can't. My brain has no space for it at the moment.
No, that's fine.
Like, I'm wondering whether people are feeling the same. Obviously, it's still the main place to be, but definitely without a question. But yeah, it's just a lot of effort.
Life is busy.
Yeah, I think that's
Life is
it.
very busy. And the problem is you are a juggler.
Yeah.
So as much as you would love to put music first,
Yeah.
it's you want to put 8 things first, and yeah.
Exactly. Having said that, that is my main platform. So any viewers, I'm not going anywhere. It's just I am so conscious and really absent from it. And I'm aware, like if you're going to play the game with Instagram, you have to be on it every day, and I'm the opposite.
But you're not a phone person
I'm so not a phone person,
at all.
and even less a sort of phone
Social
and
media,
look
yeah.
at it and talk to the back of it kind of person. I can't deal with it. No, I'm joking. I literally was going to anyway. I'll do a story after this.
We will promote what we're doing.
Yeah.
Sitting in a room. Okay. So, last episode we did a chat about Foundtown. So we previously talked about festivals, and then we sort of wanted to deep dive into Foundtown. Now it has been playing on my mind all week, and bless you, you have endured some voice notes.
That's fine.
That I wasn't as happy with the episode.
Yeah.
So it started out alright, and I think, and we did kind of touch on it a little bit, is as much as it's a festival to the outside world, it has a hell of a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And looking back is quite emotional. And Laura had a couple of rants.
Laura had a rant.
Yeah.
It was fine though.
And I hope it didn't still focus. And I would never want to look bitter
Like
for want of a better word. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I think talking about it was it was quite freeing to say bits out loud. So I went for it.
Very cathartic. I think it was good you
Yes.
did. And that what's funny is, so we give ourselves the title for these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
And to an extent it just flows naturally. Whatever happened, whatever we talk about is clearly what comes to mind. And if that's what came to mind, that's what needed talking about.
Exactly.
Then that shows Foundtown to you meant that.
Yeah.
In a way, like that was the biggest kind of headline for you. And it wasn't a bad thing, it was just an interesting insider thing as well. Like no one from no ticket goer would have known the kind of, the amount of an ordeal it can be.
Yes.
You can probably
Yeah.
imagine, but
Yeah.
so it was still kind of insightful in its own way, I think.
Okay.
I think it was very good.
Yeah, I don't regret saying it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still going out because we do work we record
Ahead of
it
ourselves,
ahead of
yeah.
ourselves, yeah. But on rewatching, I
Yeah.
don't feel like we actually did enough talking about the actual festival. We
Yeah.
kind of established a bit and then rushed through what should have been something we could have really talked about. So we're going to do a bit of a part 2.
Cool. Yeah, no, I agree.
Actual Foundtown 2.
My issue is, and will always be, distinguishing the two of them, which I did mention, I think, last time.
Yes.
Which was, because there is the first one that was like a massive pull all the forces together, make it happen, as most festivals are. Then there was the second one that wasn't, which was COVID related, COVID postponed. And then there was what actually was the second one, which, and I'm confusing all of that together.
Sure. Okay. Well, I think the things that I drew from that, not necessarily to correct ourselves, but so Foundtown 1 was one night, you headlined.
Yeah.
Foundtown 2020 I don't think happened even in planning stages, so I think you were going year on year off.
Yeah.
Because I think obviously by the time 2020 happened, as in COVID, announcements would have been made.
Oh,
they weren't. So I think to forget there was ever going to be a
No, I knew that. 2021
one. 2021 was the one that ended up getting me sort of involved in the band and was published and was selling.
Yeah.
That got postponed. Now for us, this is more of a deep dive out of Foundtown. I bizarrely loved that weekend. I don't know if you remember that weekend. So
yes, I do.
It seems probably quite mean to say because it didn't happen. Yeah. But it was actually our proper first night out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I do remember.
Yeah.
So in honour of the night that Foundtown should have been,
in
2021, yes, we all went out and did a big old night in the town, didn't we? And it was a whole group of us. I think most of
Well, it was and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because this was 6 people around the table in a pub.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, yeah.
So it started off as girls' night.
Yeah.
So it was me, you and Claire.
Yes.
And we were just going to have, all the boys seemed to be doing something else. So we were just going to have, we were going to have a night out.
That's
we were going to have a night
I
out.
loved that, yeah.
And then our honorary girl joined us.
Yeah.
Mr. Dan Twyman. So it was us 4. And we were having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And slowly, separate tables, the group just kind of grew.
Just morphed.
So yeah. I think there was a few of us by the end, and it's one of those funny situations where you go, well, actually, we are all bubbled together, and we can be together, but under your rules, we can't be, and we have to sit completely separate. But we had a great night.
It was fun. I do remember it well. I do remember it fondly. Yeah, it was just a good night out, and I guess maybe we were missing that as well after the year we'd lived, the world had been living. So there was an added excitement of like, oh, we're out, but also I think it was a real proof of we just actually wanted to social. It was like we could have had any reason to not hang out with each other, but we we volunteered to. Yes. You know, kind of chose to like.
And it wasn't everyone, which made the dynamic different. Yeah.
It was
And it was the first time we'd, as the girls, had properly spent some time together.
A little bit before it got gate crashed. Yes.
Yeah. True. Which was really nice because I know previously there has been that sort of girl bond, but you are very much on your own, and you have been for a long time.
Yeah, it was deadly. It took some getting used to, and it was things like that meant, okay, cool, you know, just girls hang out, does work. Yes. And it, you know, it can happen.
Well, it meant we were in this mad house. A bit more there for each other. Because that then turned into like brunches and the 3 of us actually hanging out,
having an
actual
relationship. Yeah.
And that helps. I say 3. So the other one, if you watched Coco TV, the other one, bless her, was Claire Ratchana.
Yes.
So she's not actually banned, which really helps the dynamic of it not being work related.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that was a great little time.
Yeah.
But, so that was the Foundtown that wasn't.
Yes.
But we had a night to remember.
Yeah.
And then we got onto the Foundtown that was.
Yes.
So we've both established we were pretty checked out.
Yeah.
And actually, as far as the prep work was concerned, like say you were in Italy, I was working at my then sort of newest job. I know the guys were at it for a long time, and there was a lot put on social medias. So the run up was long. I know they'd come back from the Alps, and it was kind of exactly what they went into doing. So we knew the site, owned by Simon and Toya, and I think a fair bit of the was from the original.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
what made that all of the second one so much easier, because there was at the beginning, the first time we did Foundtown, there was paths to create, and you know, like woodland to clear, literally like big jobs, huge amounts of the land to kind of landscape effectively. So that was done, which did make the second one a walk in the park comparatively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so stage-wise, everyone kind of knew what they were doing. It was very similar look. It's not
very
pretty much
similar.
the same.
Yeah, if not identical. Yeah.
And then same with the chapel stage.
Yeah. So the bit that I remember about the chapel stage is basically that chapel stage was made by a very rigid wooden frame with canvas, like a tent over the top. The first year round, we did the festival, and then I was thinking, my head couldn't kind of do much more thinking. I'd sort of exhausted my brain with Foundtown. But anyway, basically, that little chapel stage got left up far too long, and the wood, it's not made for all year round. A wooden frame out in the elements for too long that started to rot, and it just was not, it was pretty awful. The tent itself was quite interesting because it started to go a bit green and a little bit dirty and a little bit weathered. But that only fitted better, and I thought, oh god, is that going to look horrendous? But then when you had lights coming out from it, it shone still in a really kind of interesting, grungy kind of way. But we had to remake the wooden frame from scratch. Like we had to redo that, which we did for 2021. Then we shelved it and just got it back out for 2022. So that, you kind of had to remake quite a big part of the chapel stage. But it was fine, and it was, it all worked really well. Oh, it was fun. I loved that chapel stage. I was really proud of that.
That is what I remember of it being, is your kind of bit. And where we said, like, where your shop was, where you spent most of Foundtown, it was right in the vicinity of that being your stage. Yeah,
having said that, last time, again, we didn't quite touch on this, and I'm not saying this for like, I did this bit, but I was so proud of the chapel stage, because basically, being me, I was like, I'll be in charge of the chapel stage. I'd love to do that, like fully.
Yep.
I'll make a structure, and I started designing it, and I was like, right, it's got to be 3 meters by 3 meters, blah blah blah. And I remember showing the idea to my dad, who really is an engineer, structure. He knows what he's talking about, and he went, oh yes, but it's a public thing. It cannot be in any way unsafe. Not that I was trying to make it unsafe, but he was like, no, I think we need to really think a bit more about this, that and the other. He ran with it. So I say I made it. I didn't. My dad made he designed the structure, and it's so sweet because he'll refer to it as if I designed it, and I'm like, Dad, you did. Like, we both know you did. And he
like that.
And it was. I really enjoyed like this mission.
Tea
Oh,
time!
is it 10? Oh yeah.
We started a bit late.
I started a bit late. 10 minutes ago.
There'll be multiples of them, as you're now aware. There's also, I don't think you should be able to hear it, there is a slight hum.
Yeah.
So going back to the storm, the building has decided to argue.
Yeah.
So there is a slight hum, but
Something
hopefully you
else.
can turn up.
God. Do you think
We'll now listen out for it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Anyway.
If they can't hear it, it's just us. But anyway, it was just really fun making that with Dad, because then he then gave me like the dimensions to make the tent, which of course then was completely my remit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like we painted it up, and I remember getting it was Rachel, so my brother's girlfriend, and Jess at the time. I did all the big painty, splashy, colourful stained glass, and then I got loads of black Sharpies for them and me, and we were like, right, thick outline, all of it, and that's the lead light of the thing. So it was just a really fun like art project. Just all of us like into the night colouring and this making the black outline of that tent. So, and then seeing it up and this performers on it, that was such a, because that's the thing, like, although there was so much anguish and aggro going on all around, there were these big moments of feeling so accomplished.
Yeah.
And like, there's no reason ever in my other part of life that would have forced me to do that.
No.
And I'm really glad they have.
Yeah, definitely.
So no, that was a proper father-daughter effort, and I'm very proud of it.
No, that's cute.
Stuff like that, it's not something is widely known, so I thought actually, that kind of thing is what I think of with Foundtown.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the chapel
Yes.
stage number 2, sort of more buried in the woodland. It was a really nice aesthetic for what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the big open space.
No, it's crazy.
Generally,
Sometimes it goes on a bit longer.
drink the tea.
Tea! Drink your tea! Sorry. Yeah, so it's cozy,
Yes,
and
more
vibe,
acoustic.
much more acoustic, very
performers.
yeah. It's for those at the festival who are self-professed more introvert.
Yes,
It's for them.
seated to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Yeah, some really good performers
yeah.
on that.
We should have done our homework. I can't remember.
Phoebe Warden played on it.
Phoebe Warden. Yeah.
Kayana.
Yes.
I'm not going to be able to name anymore, so that's me done.
Which about the second? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And again, I'm getting confused between first and second, but yes, I do remember both those two. There's a guy
We
called
can't
Matt.
test ourselves. It'll
No,
be
no,
wrong.
no. The image I've got, and whoever took the photo got it as a guy called Matt Roberts was on the stage, who was performing. He was very good, and yeah. The other bit about that little area, so the acoustic area, there was, and it's so funny because when we were setting up, planning and designing the festival, I guess, we did that thing where you kind of delegate, and Toya, I think, was in charge of the little gin shack thing.
Yes.
And everyone has to have so much faith in each other, because it's like, she must have had there was faith in everyone, but it's like, okay, cool, you'll do the stage, and you're thinking, you know, I'm going to do a good job. You'll do the gin shack, I hope you do a good job. I hope that's going to look good, I hope that's going to look good.
And all to match.
And match and feel, yeah, exactly. But everyone was thinking along the same lines, without trying too hard, actually. We all were, and everything Simon Toy does looks great.
Yeah.
Like, you just know, hands down, it's going to look really sort of quirky, rustic, but beautiful. And I just remember that being really in keeping.
Nice.
And then, what was in place? Oh. See, so this is my problem. I'm trying to now work out where my little shop was the second time. What was there the first time?
Can't help you with that one.
I think there was. Oh no, you weren't there. I think it was tables and flower crown workshops,
Oh, nice.
which is that was perfect as well. And a lady came in and did that again beautifully, set it up beautifully. Everything Briley did was beautiful. Yeah. It was just this aesthetic thing of like making sure it does all look good, but everyone who brought stuff to the table had such a good eye.
Yeah.
And that's like part of the main thing of the festival, is make it feel truly immersive. And
Yes. Yeah. And there was so much to do. So Foundtown 2 nights, and it isn't just about the music, and you want it to be family friendly.
Yeah.
So like you say, there was the crowns and other bits, and
Yeah.
that woodland really dedicated itself to being that area away from the main stage, little kids bits and things like that, which was quite nice. So music.
sorry. I'm now getting more and more memories back, and because I was thinking that whole area, and that was bordering onto camping.
Yes.
And after our second set, which will bridge into music, after the set, our final set,
The headline.
the headline set. Sorry. I was so buzzing and so happy, and we were backstage, and I'm pretty sure someone came, and we'd been there for a while because it's kind of after party. That's what you do. But I think maybe it was Simon or someone did come back really nicely, say to me, Dulcima, everyone's trying to sleep and you are actually really loud. And I was like, okay, well, of all the people, I hope I get a little bit of a small bit of forgiveness.
Allowance, yeah.
Really sorry, I will shut up now. It's time to go home.
Actually, it looks huge, and it is huge.
Yeah.
But in essence, it is a square.
Yeah.
There is the main stage at the back, if you like.
Yeah.
Curves around in an L shape to the entrance, and
Yes.
then within the other little square, you've got the second stage, and then straight into the campaign.
It's sleeping. Yeah.
It is quite close together.
It's so
You
close.
were screaming your head
I
off.
was having a great time.
Hey ho, you're allowed.
I did think, I think that was like,
I mean, there was a lot. As much as people were probably sleeping more on night 2. Night 1, there was definitely a lot.
That's the
going
thing.
on,
It was
and
kind of
that's
expected, but it
yeah.
was, it's a festival, so people. I don't think it wasn't just me shouting on my own. Obviously, there
But
was
it was still
theme
quite a group.
of-
Yeah.
it was a whole group of us. But
Which
clearly,
is
I
the
was
loudest.
laughing quite loud.
Never mind. So Music.
Yes.
I'm going to test myself again and again should have done some research.
Shall I just get the thing and try and find the actual lineup?
If you want.
But because it's awful that it's awful we don't remember.
Well, I want to say,
Yeah.
as a test for myself, and now
Oh, okay.
talking just gone, I feel like Noble Jacks was the headline for night one.
Yes.
Okay.
No, see, I'm saying that because I feel like you're right, but I don't. Right, keep going. You've got Noble Jacks.
Gents would have played.
Isn't this awful? We should know. Gents, yeah. I mean, we're sort of just giving away that we don't remember this.
It's a long time.
It's hard to remember everything.
I can visually picture someone that's going to really annoy me. And it's something in the band. Jamie?
Oh.
Yep.
So you got Jamie Johnson, just so you know, this is the beginning. So we had Sound of Sirens, who are two girls who I remember really well from way back. Noble Jacks, Gentleman Few, Funky and the Two-Tone Baby, he's from more North Kent, he's brilliant. And a proper veteran, like he's just been going forever. Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys, I remember them. Yeah, they were fantastic as well. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There were more, it's just that there was one song.
Yeah. So yeah, night one, amazing.
Yes.
And it kind of builds because obviously you're going to headline your own festival.
Yeah.
But it's all, again, still very in keeping with each other. It's local people to a certain extent that you know that are around the same style of industry. Yeah. You know, there were no divas coming in and out. Everyone knew what to expect. Yeah. It was a nice, friendly vibe. Yes, and I wonder whether that happens, because I mean, by default, we will ask the bands we've made friends with, and therefore the friendliness will be there, whatever. Unlike going through a booking agency, because we could have done that. We could have just said to an agency, we're doing this festival, find us some bands. Yeah. But of course, being in the industry so long, we were like, no, we're going to ask our mates. And so actually, there was a really good rapport. Kind of, even if you didn't know, you know, there might have been loads of characters floating about, but you kind of had this understanding of, okay, cool, you're clearly with them, they know them, everyone's mates straight away. Yeah. But also, everyone's there for a job, and just kind of getting on with it. And I just thinking of backstage, and again, it's the things people won't know is the amount of, or they won't realise, is the amount of logistics and organisation, and the fact you need to have the Claire with the walkie-talkie and the clipboard and organisation. Now, Claire did it first year. She did it second year. She did it second year. Okay, cool. Because I was wondering whether that's the sort of thing you would have been fantastic at. So I did front of house. So I was main gate, entrance, and public. Cool. And Claire was backstage. Backstage, dealing with bands kind of coming and going. Because because there was space. So we wanted to give as much space to the event as possible. Yeah. So although the backstage had access for vehicles to unload ready for stage, there wasn't all that much other space. So acts would still come through the front. Yeah. And sort of we'd sneak them through the back. They go into so no, it was good. And Claire, incredible. Yeah. She's small but mighty. She is small but mighty. Because you have to be, that's a job that can go really, like if you do have people that are rubbing up the wrong way, like you can get a lot of confrontation in that role, because you get people going, no, I want to go on now. Oh, no, I want to go on now, but I want to put my stuff here. I don't need my car there. I want to do this. And we didn't have a lot of that at all. But Claire would be the one that has to negotiate and be diplomatic. But she'd be very good at that, whatever. But it's an underrated role. As is front of house, to be fair. She had the hardship. Yeah. And it's constant. Yeah. And there'll be problems thrown at you. Like there was a vehicle that got stuck. A few vehicles that got stuck in a track on the way to the backstage area. This is not the front. And poor Claire. Everyone is like, okay, we've got a car that's blocking an entrance. Like, how are we going to deal with that? While also the rest of the job still needs to be going on. So you're now properly multitasking with an urgency. It's just it's fun. Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. But backstage flowed really well. Yeah. Flew.
Very well, yeah.
No, it was good, and everyone was happy. I don't think there was any one that was sort of, the expectations were there, because, like we said, as a band, you knew what other acts wanted behind the scenes.
Yeah, which is dump your instruments, be able to. Yeah, it's kind of just certainty as well. It's like your stuff's there, your stuff's nearby, it's to hand, it's safe, it's undercover. Time, that's where Claire's part comes in again. Like, cool, you've got 2 hours, you've got 1 hour, you've got half an hour. And then is that, and then you can either go into this calm space that we've built for you, or go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, oh, okay, that's what a band wants.
Absolutely. So out the front.
Yeah.
I'm not massively interesting, and if you were there, you'd kind of, these are the bits that you'd know, but obviously all the food vendors.
Yeah.
And again, kind of people we knew because of Little Bears.
That's another project that was going on. Yes.
And we had Little Bears pizza there for number 2. And Raf had his coffee station there, and Simon and Toya do a lot in food as well. So there was food and drink everywhere, and their bar. And the front entrance was what used to be a burger van. So it was a little cute. So all kind of everything the band got involved in was just.
Oh wow! Yeah. I didn't. Yes.
So that was utilised.
So funny.
All the little bits. But no, it was good. It looked smart.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it looked like you'd only done it once before.
As in, you felt like it looked established.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that first time around it, because there was so much, like at a glance, it did feel so quite set up and filled and in keeping with itself. Like we said, there was kind of a bit of a brand theme that kind of worked really well. It does feel like it was a bit more standing.
So day 2, now I can't remember if this happened, but was there a big yoga session first thing in the morning?
Oh,
there was definitely
the wrong
talks
person
of
to ask. I love yoga. I'm not dissing yoga there. I'm dissing the early morning stars.
Yeah. In my head somewhere there might have been.
I think there was.
Someone station yoga?
No, Maddie wasn't there.
No.
I don't know.
Can't remember, but that was kind of the vibe that we went for. Yeah. Day 2, very chilled.
Yeah.
I think you get that feeling of, not in a bad way, but it'll be over in a few hours.
I think, to me, the second morning of the festival, and I have seen so many across the board, is either the second half of the festival, whether it's 2 days or 1 day or whatever, you have this collective, slightly zombified, everyone's in it together.
Yes.
Everyone knows we're all, lots of people are hungover, lots of people are tired, lots of people are on the dregs of their energy. They still want to enjoy the rest of it, but they're like, it's the real camaraderie with the second day of the festival. Because there's a huge amount of understanding between people as well. And no one looks amazing. Yeah. That's the kind of thing I actually do miss.
That was good. That was really good.
And you're right, it's like, okay, it's kind of home run now, so you don't have to give it your all.
Yeah.
But also, you're sort of pacing yourself, because if there is a big thing happening at, the headline
for you guys,
the second day, you're sort of pacing, it's natural to kind of pace yourself a bit.
Yeah. Not
go all out. But festivals usually run in that way. We always curated it so the chilled out stuff is in the afternoon. No one's pumping away, buzzing away at sort of 1 p.m. and they're eating, and you kind of make that calm, and then you steadily ramp it up with the music, solely the music, because you just more and more upbeat music happens, and
yeah, definitely. No, it was good. It was a good, really good day, and you'd learned so much from day 1.
Yeah,
like things that were working, not working, and generally if things were not necessarily breaking as such, but can we live without this for the next 4 hours? Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're through the worst.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. So the end of day 2.
Yeah.
What's your headline?
Yes. Oh my.
Tell me about it. How did you feel?
Really good. Really, really good, because it was so familiar. We knew what we were doing. We were in amongst what felt like a massive field of friends by that point.
Well, this is the thing. It'd been the first time you performed hugely all together for a while.
That's true, yeah.
And you'd come so far, because actually within what was like the audience,
Mhm.
the viewership, all of these people had watched you, well, all of these people, but so many of these people had watched you for the last year. And felt like they knew you that bit more.
Yes.
You weren't just a band on stage anymore.
No, that's
you
true.
were friends with these people, and they were friends with each other.
Yeah,
which
they
was
made
really
a whole
crazy.
community themselves.
Yeah.
And this was during COVID, Coco TV. We will definitely be
Yeah.
doing an episode on that, because that's another whole thing. But you're right. That meant that there was huge amounts of virtual contact between loads of these names and faces. And so actually, Foundtown was a moment where there just was such electric energy, because everyone was meeting. They were almost meeting for the first time, even though they felt like they knew each other for months.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. And so there was, just without trying too hard, there was all this kind of nice, and you can tell when you go on a stage how the feel it, obviously.
Yes.
And it kind of couldn't fail to be a really lovely warm atmosphere, because, you know, there'd been 48 hours of festival before. And but also, I remember, it was actually very sweet, there was the decision made that I was going to walk on after to get my own, like, first going on stage.
First, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone else went on and got
No,
their.
you went first.
Oh, it
You
was.
started robots.
Oh, okay, fine. There was
Yes.
this. Okay.
So you had the whole stage to yourself.
The point is, the stag at the beginning kind of meant there was this. Yeah, it's always a bit fun changing up like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And knowing those notes, how many times had you played robots to an audience? Like on the screen, because of Coco TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a pin drop kind of moment.
Yeah.
And then the boys kind of rushed on, and like the vibe changed. It was
and it all went kicked up. Yeah, and I suppose doing the performance we knew inside out, which means you can have so much more fun with it, because you're on autopilot, but in a good way. Because your muscle memory is there, and now you can have fun with the audience, or now you can like make faces or do little ad libs or be cheeky with the other players.
Yeah.
That makes, I think, for an audience, that's so much more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's kind of partly why it all worked so well.
And because although we'd performed a few festivals 2021, it felt like, it's hard to say the start of something, because we all know it actually was probably the end of something, but you'd been working on the album, there were the new songs to throw in, there was that element of new set for your own festival, people have heard the songs almost privately in their own home, to then hear it first. So there was a real big build up of, it felt fresh, which was great.
Yeah, definitely. And then I can't remember any other. I know obviously we had 2 people join us at the end.
Yes.
Were there any other people, which we'll talk about? Were there any other people that? Sorry, I'm trying to think. Anyway, we did a big At the end, it's always nice to bring on some other people. I feel like the gents probably came on. They did. That's a standard thing. Bring the gentleman few, the act that we had playing there anyway. But yeah, and then we got Phoebe back on to sing, and that was actually so cool. Again, from talking about the being the only girl thing, but it was really fun having just two. So we had Phoebe come on, and Kyla came onto the stage as well. And I'm so used to, obviously, Gentlemen a Few are 5, 6, 7 boys. So on top of the 4 or 5 boys that were already there, fine, really fun, they're fantastic. But then to sort of have this like gang of girls was really good as well.
Really.
And you know, sort of all singing together, and it just can't not be fun.
No,
Like
Gecko came on as well.
Gecko as well.
Yeah. And it is that big band moment at the end, just to really
like whoa.
And it's a thank you to everyone. Like the audience for being there, staying, and everyone for performing.
Definitely.
But it's so feel good.
Yes.
To just end it on such a big bang.
Actually, I think that's the kind of, and that kind of moment is the moment where all politics, when there are politics, they do go out the window at those moments, and that is what makes those moments so special. Because you're, you know, whatever grievances you have had, haven't had, whatever. You're just seeing. You literally are. Again, you've got a job to do, so you kind of just have to get on. And also, you can't be singing like looking daggers at someone across the stage, but you wouldn't anyway, because you're just feeling so pumped up. You're feeling so. It's just
adrenaline.
and you build a lot doing that. I think relationship-wise, everyone leaves feeling so buzzed with each other and like, oh, you were so good, oh, that was so fun, did you see me do that, did I, yeah, and it's just a really fun moment. Yeah, that those moments were priceless.
Good.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's a good note to leave it on.
There we go. Do you feel like you've done?
I feel like we've done that a little bit more justice. Yeah. We've left it on a happy note.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool.
Winter, and I'm thinking, no way would you play on my mind and go and start waving bye bye.